The group wakes up to find that one of their own, Maya, is missing. They quickly realize that she must have gone out to search for medical supplies, as she had mentioned it the night before. However, when she doesn't return by morning, they know that something must have gone wrong. The survivors set out on a dangerous search mission, knowing that Maya's life could be in danger. They face threats from the outside world, including infected creatures and rival survivor groups who are willing to do anything to survive. As they search, the group begins to unravel the mystery of Maya's disappearance. They discover that she had been taken by a group of raiders who were looking for medical supplies. The survivors know that they must rescue Maya before it's too late, and they prepare for a showdown with the raiders. The scene ends with the group launching a surprise attack on the raiders' base, fighting for their survival and the life of their friend. The fight is intense and brutal, but the survivors emerge victorious, rescuing Maya and securing much-needed medical supplies. As they make their way back to their shelter, the survivors are reminded of the dangers that lurk around every corner in this post-apocalyptic world. But they also know that they have each other to rely on, and that together they can face any challenge that comes their way. They come across a small town that appears to be abandoned and decide to investigate. They find a few supplies, but also encounter a group of raiders who have claimed the town as their own. A tense standoff ensues, and the survivors are forced to make a difficult decision. Do they risk their lives to fight for the resources they need, or do they move on and hope to find something better? After much debate and consideration, the survivors choose to move on. They realize that the risk of losing members of the group in a fight is too great, and they need to conserve their energy and resources for the long journey ahead. As they continue their search for a safe place to settle down, they come across a large abandoned building that appears to have once been a military bunker. It is fortified and secure, with enough space to accommodate the entire group. They decide to make it their new home and set about fortifying the entrances and gathering supplies to last them for the long haul. The survivors must work together and make difficult decisions to ensure their survival in this new world. They are constantly faced with challenges and obstacles, but their determination and resilience keep them going. The survivors are in a difficult position as they scavenge for supplies. They all understand the importance of working together, but tensions are high as they struggle to make decisions about how to allocate their limited resources. As they search for food, water, and other essentials, disagreements begin to surface about how to divide what they find. Tom argues that they should ration everything equally, while Sarah suggests that they prioritize the needs of the children and the elderly. Maya insists that they should focus on finding medical supplies to treat injuries and illnesses, and Max proposes that they take a more aggressive approach and start raiding nearby settlements for resources. The group is divided and unable to come to a consensus. They spend long hours arguing and bickering, which only serves to exacerbate their stress and anxiety. As the days pass, their situation becomes increasingly dire. They are running low on supplies, and morale is at an all-time low. Eventually, the group comes to a breaking point. They realize that they need to put aside their differences and work together if they have any hope of survival. They hold a meeting and agree to a compromise, with each member of the group receiving an equal share of supplies while also taking into account the needs of the most vulnerable members of the group. Despite the challenges they face, the survivors remain determined to rebuild their lives in this new world. They know that they must work together and support each other if they are to have any chance of surviving the harsh realities of post-apocalyptic life. Max, who has a tendency to be a lone wolf, suggests that they split up and each go their own way to increase their chances of survival. Maya, who is determined to find a cure for the virus, suggests that they search for any remaining medical facilities or research centers that may have survived the apocalypse. After a heated discussion, the group decides to prioritize finding a safe place to settle down together. They continue their search, hoping to find a location that can provide shelter, protection, and access to resources. But as they travel further, they realize that the world they once knew may be gone forever, and they must adapt to survive in this harsh new reality. Sarah, still determined to protect her daughter, insists that they need to find a safe place to call home. Tom, realizing that the group's survival depends on their ability to work together, suggests that they combine their efforts and split up into teams to search for resources and potential locations to settle down. Despite their differing opinions, the group ultimately agrees to Tom's plan and splits up into teams. Maya and Tom head out to search for medical supplies and any potential research facilities, while Max and Sarah scavenge for food and water. As they search, they encounter numerous obstacles and dangers, including hostile survivors and infected creatures. As the day wears on, the group begins to feel the strain of their journey. They are tired, hungry, and on edge, but they know that they must keep moving forward if they want to survive in this harsh new world. As the group debates their options, they encounter a dangerous gang of survivors who are armed and hostile. The survivors must work together to fend off the attackers and escape with their lives. After the attack, the survivors realize that they need to work together more closely than ever before. They must find a way to balance their individual needs and desires with the needs of the group as a whole, if they are to have any chance of surviving in this harsh new world. The scene ends with the group continuing their search for a safe place to settle down, with a newfound sense of unity and determination.